Talk about what is high vibrational, and I want to go into the specifics of what high vibrational is, and what is egoic energy. And egoic energy sounds a bit general, and it is a bit general, but where I want to start with is the emotional guidance system. And I think the reason that it's important to start with the emotional guidance system is because it portrays very clearly two places. It shows you the place that comes from ego and the place that comes from high vibrational, that comes beyond ego. Whatever you want to name that, consciousness, awareness, love, it's high vibrational. And the difference in the lower emotions like shame, fear, anger, all these emotions are based on ego. We don't have to judge them. We don't have to say we can never feel that. We just have to understand what it is. We have to just understand that when we are in such an emotion, we are in a low vibrational emotion. And that when we're acting from that emotion, we're acting from a low vibrational place. And what does that do? Well, it creates experiences that are not in release but are in control, in your own egoic control. And as much as it sounds good to control situations, we kind of like that idea that we control situations and we control ourselves and people. Actually, you're holding on to your pain. You're holding on to your fears, your shames, your anger. You're holding on to the traumatic emotions, because fear and shame are trauma, and are conditions that are based on what society says we should be, what you say you should be. So part of this conditioning outside of you, but also the conditioning happens inside of you. So you condition yourself, right? And what you see is that people use that shame or anger to fuel their actions. So their fuel is from low vibrational places. Right? If you see someone that shames themselves in succeeding, or angers themselves into succeeding, I'm not saying it's necessarily completely bad, but there's a lot of egoic energy in that. There's not much high vibrational energy, because when we look at the higher chart of the emotional scale, we see there are more emotions like love, joy, acceptance, even neutrality. What are these emotions? They are outside of our ego. They are outside when we break the character. For example, when you get rejected by someone, you get out of your ego because you break character. You cannot be this cool person anymore that you think you are. You break character because it's out of what you can control anymore. And then we start to laugh. And we start to laugh because when we get rejected, we laugh because we get out of our own place. We get out of our own ego. We get out of our own control system. As much as we think we want to control things, what we actually want is to just let go, to release, and to take actions from that releasing place, to take actions from a less controlling place. What comes to my second thing, what is philosophy? Philosophy, and taking high vibrational and philosophy together, what is the purpose of philosophy? The purpose of philosophy is not to just wonder about existence and wonder about everything randomly. The purpose of philosophy is only one thing. For me, it's only one thing. It's to be high vibrational. It is to be on the higher end of the emotional scale. By questioning the beliefs that are fearful, that are angry, that are shameful, that make you go back into the controlling, egoic patterns. And by questioning yourself, your reality, you come to let go more of your perspectives, right? You get out of your ego again, you get out of your perspectives, and you get to that higher vibrational place. Because we think that we need to have positive beliefs or we need to have positive thoughts. But what it really is, we need to let go. You cannot even have a positive thought when you're fully in shame and fear patterns. You first got to let go of all those patterns. Forget about positive thoughts. First, let go. After that, if you want to have positive thoughts or not, that's your option. That's your choice. But for now, it's like let's not control anything. Let's just let go of this ego front. So how do we do this? How do we practically get into a high vibrational place? Because it's all, if it's all just mental, if it's all just a mental thing, if it's not a lived experience, there's no use to any of this, right? The use of this is that we can apply it to our life and it changes our life. Otherwise, there's no need to do any of this. Even if it's true or not, what is the point, right? The point is that we want to be in a high vibrational place. So first of all, we can follow the emotional guidance system, meaning when you're in shame, when you're in anger, you just go an emotion higher than where you were, okay? So from shame, it was go to guilt, right? From guilt, it was go to, I think, fear or grief. And then you can slowly move yourself up. And not only that, it's already happening inside you. Like if you sit long enough with the low emotions, you will move up. You will move up to a higher place. And how do you do philosophy? Philosophy is about questioning your beliefs, questioning the validity of your beliefs. And this is why neutrality is a high emotion. Neutrality is on the higher scale of the emotions. Because what neutrality shows you is that your perspective is now right. Someone else's perspective is not right. There is no right perspective. So everything comes to question. Even that statement, you can question it. But you come to know that you don't know much, really. You really don't know much. Yet the ego is convincing you that you know much, that you know how everything is going to play out. For example, your future. You're preparing yourself for a future that might be scary, that you need to avoid, that you need to prevent yourself from. But you're taking actions from a place assuming your future will be negative, assuming that you need to take actions to prevent certain measures from happening. What is this showing? Besides that you're trying to be in ego, trying to be in control. I'm not promising you positive things will happen. I'm not promising you negative things will happen. I'm just saying maybe positive things happen, maybe negative things happen. But when we get into that maybe ground of we're not 100% certain, that is when we let go. And the truth will come true naturally because we're no longer trying to hold on so tightly to our perspective that is limiting. We're not trying to hold on so tightly to the control of the ego. We're letting go. And therefore we're growing and we're going to a more high vibrational place. And in that neutrality, where you don't really know anything, you don't have a perspective to hold on to, you open up, you expand yourself. You see, life is either contracting when you go back to the ego, it's in your breath, it's you're stifled, you're controlling, you're sweating, you're trying to make things happen. Or when you're in the release, it's expanding. So your energy is expanding you. You're growing beyond yourself. Right? That's what philosophy is. That's what emotional skill is. It's expanding you beyond yourself, where it's not all about you. And it is all about you, yet it's not all about you. Because from the high vibrational scale, what are these emotions? Happy, joy, love. These are about value. These are valuable emotions, right? And we see that they bring value to other people. Just being in that place of joy and love, you bring value to the people. Just by being in joy and love, you bring value to you. You bring value to the people, therefore you bring value to you, and therefore you bring value to the people. And it's a cycle of high vibrations where value is just exchanged because you're in joy and because you receive joy, and it's just this cycle of high vibrational momentum. The same thing goes for the lower vibrations, where anger, you're angry, and then someone gets angry at you and you get more angry at them, and just that anger keeps on going. Right? And I'm not saying never feel angry or fearful or sad. I'm actually saying the opposite. I'm saying completely feel fearful, sad, anger, completely feel it. So then naturally it will go to the higher vibrations. And then you can let go. And then however you feel is beautiful. Whatever you feel then at that point, it's beautiful. It's no longer in control. You're no longer trying to control your emotions at that point. You're no longer trying to control if you're happy or not. But you're just happy because you're expanding. You're growing beyond yourself. You're growing beyond your ego. And this is how you get high vibrational. And you can do this with any topic where you feel you're low vibrational at. So sometimes you're really high vibrational at, for example, a certain topic. For example, dancing. You just feel in the moment, you just feel the flow, you just feel flow and joy, and you feel that you're releasing and letting go and expanding. But then maybe when it comes down to relationships, or when it comes down to money, or when it comes down to health, you might have more stressful, angry, or egoic emotions. So a few questions that you could use to ask yourself to get you into a more high vibrational place is one, is this true? Okay, so you have a thought, just ask, is this true? Okay, and this is from, I forgot her name, it's called The Work. And the first question is this true? Can you absolutely know that this belief is true? And how would you be without this thought? How would you feel? Byron Katie, that's her name. Byron Katie, The Work. Look it up. Very, 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 very powerful. Second question to ask. Is there anything bad that I need to prevent myself from in the future? This is a very sneaky question, because what I'm trying to show you is your own assumptions about your future. And don't make it positive or anything. Just be honest to yourself. Just be honest with yourself. If you're stressed, if you're angry, just acknowledge that. Like, wow, I really believe that's going to happen in my future. Like, I'm taking all these actions and I'm trying so hard to not make that happen. What only makes it more happen. Based on the law of attraction, makes it only more happen. So law of attraction, okay, if we talk about that is, when you talk about high vibration, that's just letting go of the ego. We think we need to think positive thoughts and all these things. No, we just need to be feeling positive. We don't need to think positive thoughts. Positive thoughts come naturally when you feel positive, right? You think about everything, oh, it's beautiful, it's nice, because you're in a positive emotion. So we don't need to think positive out, we just need to release all these negative thoughts in the first place. So with that question, so we're coming back to that question, what do you think is going to happen or could happen in the future that you need to prevent yourself from? And on top of that, a good question is, should I be stressed or scared, or should I not? Play this 50-50 game with yourself. Should I be stressed or should I not? Should I be scared for the future or should I not? Just that, like, maybe, like, being questioning if you should be or not makes you feel less stressed and opens up a doorway to your soul, to higher vibrations. Just that questioning of, like, should I not? Playing with it. Playing with it. Another good question to ask yourself, so the third question to ask yourself is, what is real? What is real? And is a chair real? Is a house real? Am I real? Is this experience real? Is this a dream? Is this real? Even your memories, like how much of your memories are real, like are factual, you feel like, oh, that's like real, or are just based on trauma repeating itself. Based on your egoic perception that's based on fear, anger, shame, grief, right? How many sad memories do you have? Well, many of those sad memories are based on egoic perception. They were not necessarily sad moments. It's just that your egoic perception perceived that as sad or as bad or as fearful or something that you should avoid, right? And then we can come even to the place of, like, I'm wise, so I had some experience and I'm never gonna experience that again. What is still holding on is still the ego trying to control it, and still with a lot of trauma. What real wisdom is like, I can experience that 1,000,000 times again. I can experience that 1,000 times again. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm just going to follow what feels good, instead of trying to avoid what feels bad. That's wisdom. Anyways, I think this gave some insight in what high vibrational is, and what you can clearly see, it has nothing to do with spiritual egos, materialistic egos, any type of ego, a letting go ego, philosophical ego. We don't need to be any type of ego. We don't need to hold to anything, not even to this process. You can even let this process at some point go. We're just in the moment, you're just present. But this will help you to become more high vibrational, and I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. This is the journey within. I see you in the next video.